everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're going to have a quick look at the appeal and controversies surrounding Fortnite. Interestingly, there's an awful lot more appeals to the game than there are controversies, which is unusual when comparing it to the old text, which was Pokemon Go, and also because with games that normally have a very young audience, there tends to be more controversy than there does appeal, but we'll have a look and see if we can break that down a little bit more. So some of the appeals straight away, obviously a main one is that it is free. So this obviously suits the demographic because typically young children don't have a lot of disposable income to spend. Here they're able to create an account, start playing the game without really having to shell out any money on the game itself. They will need the console, they will need the platform to play it on, but there's so many of these, as you'll see later on, that actually this makes it relatively easy to access. The game itself also spans across lots of different genres, so it's both a battle game, a construction game, it's player versus player, it's a first-person shooter. So we widen the demographic and we have more of an appeal because it means that fans of particular genres will find something about the game that they find interesting and that they will enjoy to play. The game is also available for socializing. So the fact that it is a collaborative game, the fact that it allows people across the world to access the same server means that it's able to create a sort of social contact. There's social interaction, there's talking points within the game. So this allows for greater socialization, particularly for people who perhaps have disabilities and who find it more difficult to get outside to communicate with people. And also looking at the current situation that we're in where people are spending more time at home, it allows for that socialization that perhaps we don't get elsewhere. Now the game is also playable across multiple consoles, so whether you're PC gamer, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, or whether you're just playing it on your phone, then there is access to that game on that console. And interestingly, there's also the ability to switch consoles mid-game. So you can be playing on one console and then you can move to a different one and still continue the same gameplay, which is something that is really important for people who perhaps share consoles or who perhaps are within a family and need to be able to move around, or who have to go out. It means the game can be played on the move. Now the game was made using Epic Games Unreal Engine, and that Unreal Engine is available online, so the audience can actually build their own games using the Unreal Engine and use Fortnite as a starting point from that. Along with this, the game has convergence across loads of different media, predominantly YouTube and Twitch. So Fortnite videos tend to be the most viewed on YouTube, and Twitch game streams also allow users to watch the action happening in game. Along with this, they also have amazing social media. So they've got Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all sorts, to allow lots of different demographics of different ages to find interest within the game. They've previously created synergy and collaborations with other franchises such as Marvel for the skins, so this allows again a wider demographic and also helps for personalization within the game. Along with this, there is also celebrity endorsement, which is a form of synergy where we've got big name stars such as Drake playing the game, and this adds to its appeal and adds to its sort of weighting within the game community. Now there are microtransactions to the game, which we'll have a look at in a little bit more detail in a minute, but those microtransactions don't actually affect the gameplay. So what this means is that if you are somebody who has a lot of money, yes, you might be able to buy more skins, you might be able to buy more crafting material, but it doesn't give you an advantage over anybody else within the game. And this means that those from less economic backgrounds aren't priced out of the game right away. It means that it goes on skill or it goes on luck or a combination of the two, rather than being able to pay your way to the top of the game. Another form of appeal, particularly for parents, is the less explicit or realistic violence. So the game itself, although is a game of fighting to the death, doesn't do so in a way that would perhaps encourage copycat behaviour outside of the game. And as well as this, there's also a lack of racism or misogyny because the characteristics and the skins that are assigned to the characters that the players use are distributed randomly. So you may end up playing as somebody from a different race, different culture, or even from a different world just compared to what you are, and that allows for greater tolerance within the game community. Now obviously no game is free from controversy, but there are very few controversies for Fortnite. The big controversy is around the in-game purchases or microtransactions. So for younger audiences who perhaps don't understand the concept of in-game purchases or microtransactions, this has been seen previously across other mostly mobile devices. This sort of microtransaction can build up, so that young people are spending vast amounts of money without realizing it, because all mobile phones tend to be linked to a card. Now that is waning slightly with the use of sort of facial recognition in order to confirm purchases, so it does require a certain level of security, and so it allows parents to have more control over what their children are spending on phones. So the biggest controversy for Fortnite then is the fact that it is very, very addictive. Now, initially the game came under fire for being addictive from people such as Prince Harry, who argued that the game itself was exploiting this behaviour, and that the addictive nature of the game meant that children were then finding it difficult to concentrate. It was also becoming a distraction from things that were happening in the real world. Since then, it has also been shown that Fortnite's creators actually collaborated with psychologists to make the game addictive. So there is a sort of grey area, or perhaps crossing of the line there, where the controversies become more apparent and perhaps become more of an issue. Hopefully that video was useful. I know it was a really quick video. There's not many key terms today, so just take a look at the ones that are in the bubble here and make yourself some note cards for any that you don't understand. If you haven't already, please subscribe. For every subscriber I get, they will get a shout out in the next video. So if you haven't had yours yet, please make sure you let me know in the comments section below. You can also get in touch with me with any comments, questions, suggestions, ideas, or anything else in the comments below, or through my social media, through Twitter or through Instagram. And I will see you guys later for another video.